Hey, this is Wilbur. We got a little replay review for you from a recent ladder game. This game, I go Supply Specialist, and my opponent takes Rhino Specialist. So one of the things I've noticed about Tarantulas is that Stormcaller starts really counter them hard, so I was happy to see my opponent taking the Tarantula here. I think the slow speed and high the large unit size makes them like a premier Stormcaller, just eats them for breakfast. And I think it's a really popular start because it's strong. I mean, don't get me wrong, it will beat most other unit packs. It's just the Stormcaller has an awesome counter to it. So I've been really digging Stormcaller starts lately just because of this. It feels so bad when you have Tarantulas into Stormcaller starts. It's just like an auto 2-round loss, which we'll see here. And I'm not sure if this is good for the game because it's such a brutal start for the Tarantula player. They get behind in levels, they get behind in tempo. So yeah, it's just rough. I even grab a third pack of Stormcallers here because I know I'm trying to press my advantage here with the Tarantulas. So yeah, we'll see how this unfolds. I think we all know what's going to happen here. The Stormcallers are going to do a lot of work. Make it as a win. Just marksman left on the board and a few crawlers appear nibbling on angles of the Stormcallers. Marksman going down from that volley. So we get the first round win as expected. And we're on to round 2. So here I was kind of flirted with the idea of Assault Stormcaller, but if we look at the board again, my opponent's kind of front line is quite far away, so it didn't seem like a good idea to remove the range advantage that I already had. My opponent grabbed Stormcallers to try to argue with my own Stormcallers. I believe both of us skipped this round. So here, in this round, I just flush out the rest of my chaff. I have added another Fang on this flank and dropped the Crawler on the corner. And the left corner, I know Rhinos are coming this game because we have Rhino Specialist. So I really want to get ready for that flank that might happen from the Rhino. So that's why I like to position those Crawlers there in the beginning of the game. So I'll be ready for it on round 4. All my opponent did was just unlock the Stormcaller and then throw down the 2 for spending up that $400. Our Crawlers almost get into the marksman on the left flank, and the right flank has the extra marksman, so our chaff are gone a little bit faster. But we will win the RNG war. We have the extra pack of Stormcallers, and with that volley, the Stormcaller will be saying goodnight. Another round win for us. Into round 3, we get our first unit drop. Here I was thinking, okay, Wraiths are bad, he's got Marksman already, Scorpions are bad because he has Stormcallers already, Mustangs and Rhino are decent. So, you know me, I'm a Rhino guy. I like to try to get in there with some Rhino action. So I opt for the Rhino this round. The Mustang might have been better, I'll admit it, but I think the Rhino kind of always puts your opponent on their toes. Man, I am thinking a lot here. But we'll just hide it because we kind of know what's going to happen. The Rhino's going to come on up here. And unfortunately, that's where the level 3 Mustang went. So I think if this didn't happen, if we went on this side, we might have did better. our rhino kind of proves ineffective. I think we just might have killed him with maybe half the pack of crawlers or something like that. So here I am pushing my advantage again, grabbing the storm crawlers. I was a little bit worried about the wraith this round, so I took the marksman in preparation for it, because I know the fangs weren't going to cut it, especially with the storm crawlers kind of taking care of those fangs pretty quickly. I also opt to do advanced recruit and grab another crawler. And with that, I think I saved the $250 this round. Maybe I do high mobility. I think just so I can get, hopefully get my units to, yeah, there it is, to dodge the stormcrawlers a little bit and get that rhino to hit that tower sooner. Yeah, so watch the rhino kind of fail. The rest of the board, I think it turns out to be pretty good for us. So, yeah, so the rhino takes care of most of the crawlers. Looks like maybe all the crawlers. No, maybe 1 or 2 left. Yeah, well, it looks like a handful of them. So, but the nice thing about putting a unit in the corner, you get a nice tower pull, so we get into that tower and take it down, giving us the round win. So we'll see these stormcrawlers ping this tower, and then the rest of these units are going to clean up over here. So a nice round 3. So stormcrawlers start really proving to be a nice tempo advantage for us. Our opponent's really struggling to get back in, but here is his big tempo round. For me, I see the sticky oil come down, and I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good opportunity for me to grab fire. And if my opponent doesn't take it, he's going to probably lose the round. So I oil this. All the people in the crowd saying, "Boo, oil!" Yeah, I know. We all feel the same way, but you gotta use it if it's there, man. It's pretty good. So here I level my stormcrawlers. We know they're gonna be pretty clutch this game, so grabbing those levels isn't bad. I also grab field recovery to take back that rhino that was gonna be dead weight up there. I did get my opponent to put his rhino in the top left corner and not flank me, so I think that's a bit of a win. So here when we see, I'm feeling I need the Mustangs, so I grabbed 2 packs of Mustangs this round, and they'll be placed on my left and right to help get through all this chaff, and then be like a second line later chaff for when that rhino comes. I don't want to lose my towers to Mr. Rhino. So here we see I rapid resupply so I can get that range enhancement on the Mustang, because I don't think Mustangs really feel like units unless they have range upgrade. And I also put down a missile here and here, just expecting that rhino to come from somewhere. I want to slow it down. My opponent added a marksman to his board, and maybe he grabbed some. Yeah, he's got an attack upgrade on this tower. The fire absolutely decimating the left side of the map. All the marksmen Mustangs are gone. So the rhino's going to fall here. Unfortunately, we lose our missile to that rhino. Would have been nice to hang on to that, but such is life. Sometimes you place your missile too far forward. If I had to place a little bit further back to protect that tower, maybe we would have saved our tower, or saved our missile. So into round 5, we get another unit drop. So here, the only thing I'm really worried about are giants and rhinos. So I see to myself, okay, we got the steel balls that are looking pretty good. They counter both the Vulcan and the Stormcaller, or Sandstorm. Blah, I can't talk. Sandworm. Sandstorm is a worm upgrade, but it's not the unit name. So I take that steel ball. My opponent, I think, grabs the Sandworm. So I take my steel balls and I place them, I think, here and here to counter this rhino, because I know where the rhino placement is at least. And I grab a 3rd pack of steel balls and stick them in the middle, just in case we get a giant sitting right here. There's the sandworm finally coming from my opponent. Nice big blue sandworm. Oh, that's what my opponent did last round. He had me range the marksman. That's where all his money went. He's also grabbed the mole beacon to try to get that worm into the tower as fast as possible. Fortunately for him, he's going to find out that Steel Ball's pretty good at killing worms. He's added a missile to the front and a second worm to the right. I rapid resupplied, got high mobility, added range to the Steel Balls here, and enhanced range. And I finally added my defense upgrade. See the missiles coming down, missing our, those are my missiles, missing the packs of crawlers I was trying to pop, so I didn't fire my own army here. But right away we get a lock on both worms, fall onto Tarantula and onto the Rhino. And then the last big unit on the board is another Tarantula, and that also goes down. So Steel Ball is proving to be a really good pick, kind of anticipating what my opponent was going to grab. With that, we get a nice clean round 5. Opponent, we don't have any big units on board, so our opponent's life isn't going down too fast. That's the only thing I'm worried about here, is getting outscaled. So next card comes up, and oh, lo and behold, we get the extended range Steel Ball. So here I was thinking to myself, man, I guess the game wants me to win. If you get range Steel Ball card, extended range Steel Ball card when you already are going Steel Balls, like, my goodness, it's like Christmas. So I was happy to see that. My opponent's doing his best to counter the Steel Balls with some Sandstorm action. That's a pretty expensive upgrade when you already get armor enhancement. So his money pool isn't looking too good after that. I grab another set of Steel Balls. I think I put them here, trying to take care of that big blue worm. My opponent adds finally some more chaff units. One of the things that's really lacking in is chaff units. I think what he does with them is he puts them on my flanks, the left and right, which I already had pretty well covered with these crawlers. Unfortunately, it's going to pull my Steel Balls in my Mustangs a little bit. And here I add some bubbles and some anti-missile devices just to try to close the game out. If I can protect these Stormcrawlers from anything getting on them, that will help me win. The only thing that I think can win the game is this high level Mustang pack. It's got the 4 Mustangs with the enhanced damage upgrade. So we see the little pull happen, and now our balls. This pack with the extended range has a nice lock, but we can see these front pack get affected by the storm, the sandstorm. And this worm takes a nice big bite out of those Steel Balls because of the sandstorm. I think part of that sandstorm actually hit the Mustangs from our opponents, so some of them were a lot further up than they should have been, right in this pile of fire. So my opponent's bubbles get laser beamed by our Steel Balls, and we have a nice cleanup again. So once again, just a trickle of damage, not quite enough to close out. Here we see Absorption Module, Heavy Armor, and Shield Drop, and Elite Fang. Opponent grabs the Absorb Mod. I take Heavy Armor, which is a fantastic Steel Ball for your level Steel Balls. Immediately throw that on my level 3 balls. I got a bunch of upgrades on my balls this round. So we're going to hit all those Steel Balls plus once. Grab our rapid resupply, enhanced mod, or enhanced range, and high mobility. We're also going to missile these crawls because I don't want that pull to happen. So we'll see 2 missiles come down. We don't want those Steel Balls delayed anymore. My opponent grabs a desperate million Wasps to try to break into this tower. But I bubble again, and I also have this higher level pack of Mustangs waiting in the wings to deal with those Wasps. We have a few Fangs as well. Here I've added Suck to my Steel Balls to try to get them to live longer. And with that, we're at 0 money, so we'll watch the last round play out here. Maybe get a little slow-mo. Zoom in over here to where the main action is. See, we're dropping a few wasps before the sandworm pops up. An instant lock from this left steel ball on the sandworm. Over here, the sandworm's going down quickly. The side's looking pretty good. Alright, the sandworm's going to drop here. We have a few Mustangs that did not get affected by the sandstorm, and a bunch that are moving forward. Down goes the Rhino. Some of his high-level Mustangs got affected by the sandstorm, or more than they should be. We got another nice lock for the Tarantula. Our Mustang numbers are still looking sufficient to take care of these wasps. Some of them are getting stuck onto the steel balls. Our right flank has pushed through, and our long-range steel balls are almost on the tower. And the last of the wasps go down. So another nice, decisive win for Mr. Wilbur. That, let's speed her back up and watch the rockets hit the ground like a firework, saying, "We win!" So, I hope you enjoyed the game. This was right around 1700 MMR. I think my opponent was like 1720, and I'm right at, I was thinking it was like 1690 something for this game. So, this pushed us over the 1700 again. And here's the final look at the board. Some nice prediction from me, and a nice unit pack start with the domination over the Tarantula with the Stormcallers made this a victory. So sometimes the game kind of gives you, I would say, a boon. You know, this time I got the Stormcallers when my opponent grabbed Tarantulas, and then I got the extended steel ball range card right when my opponent takes, you know, right after we get the unit drop, and I get those steel balls, and then I'm ready to go them. And so some games, the game just decides, hey, these are all the tools you need, and if you recognize them, you win. And I think the higher up you get, the easier it is to recognize those tools when the game gives them to you. So yeah, I think things my opponent could have did differently is just pressured flanks more. Like when you're in this situation where you're just so heavily, your units suck in the beginning of the game, like I would just start doing some like crawler pressure over here to draw fire from the Stormcallers. Stuff like that. And I also just don't, in my opinion, like playing this far back when you have units like the Tarantula, like that need to close the gap a lot faster. So my advice would be, don't build this far back when you get Tarantula starts. Build on the line. And if you do find yourself in some position like this where you get kind of unit dropped right away, try flanking and trying to get those cheeky little round wins can actually turn the game in your favor. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the replay review, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.